Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at S-Class Diego, who is going to be the next promo character coming to RTS. He is going to be dropping on Christmas Eve, and funnily enough I believe his daughter, who is Camilla, dropped on Christmas Day 2 years ago. On Christmas Day in 2018. So that's pretty interesting knowledge there. That's some info for you there. Camilla was also the first ever Gen 2 6-star. There hasn't been any changes here by the looks of things. It looks like normal stats to me. So no generation change on Christmas Day. I did say if they were going to do it, they're going to do it the sneaky one on a Christmas Day change to try and get it past people. But not this time around. We have got S-Class Diego, and he is a favorite from the 6-star era, a very, very good 6-star character. He is going to be strong again, as you see him on the right-hand side, holding that baseball bat. Visually, I'm not sure. I kind of like the visuals of the 6-star, if I'm honest. He looked like a park ranger, right? Am I correct in that? He looked like a park ranger. I like the visuals. I don't mind the visuals here, but I think the 6-star was very well done. On the left-hand side, we see his avatar, and he's still wearing that hat, so we don't see the hair. I think the 6-star version, he is not wearing a hat. I'm not 100% certain. With the S-Class full vet ring stats, he has got 5,253 attack, 3,526 defense, and 3,709 HP. He is considered a support character, quite offensive for being a support character, and as we saw before, he is again a strong character coming into the S-Class era. Now we'll take a look at his adrenaline rush. It is 66 AP, so actually pretty quick. Deal 1,200% damage to a single enemy. All teammates get 50% attack and focus for 2 turns. But up to 5 enemies recover from all penalties. Well, what does this mean? What does this mean? Well, the 1,200% damage to a single enemy is awesome. Obviously, that's a big nuke. His attack stat isn't huge, but he should still do massive amounts of damage just because that percentage is just so high. All teammates getting 50% attack and focus for 2 turns is crazy, especially as he is 66 AP. He can get this off really quick. You can command him early. You can get him past shields. There's not going to be as many issues when it comes to confuse and taunt and stuff. But any characters that are in teams with this guy will obviously get a massive attack percentage boost. So if you've got someone with like 50% on their weapon and there's a leader that's giving 40 to 50%, they're getting another 50% multiplier coming. The attack multipliers just go crazy when you just have multiple of them. So yeah, this is very, very nice. The last bit is basically going into what is going on right now around trauma. What happens with trauma, guys, is if you remove negative effects from an enemy while they have trauma on them, they will take that amount of damage with trauma. So let's say someone has 2 negative effects on them. They also have 2,000 trauma from Jesus's active skill. They will take 4,000 damage. But this obviously can stack, so trauma can stack. So if you have multiple sources of trauma, the amount will stack. But also if someone's got 10 effects on them, you know, that 2,000 suddenly becomes 20,000 damage. So we're going to do an attack, and we have got Jesus dealing out the trauma. This is where the majority of the damage is going to come from here. I have got a double command team, you'll see why. We're just going to get some damage in on someone who I know is going to be a window. And now we have Wang Fa. The great thing about Wang Fa is he can do so many effects. We've got 1 effect, and then we've got like another 3 effects on every single character that just went out. Big effects too, because Crosshairs is in here, which is decap. Now when we do Diego's rush, he will remove all of those negative effects from all of those characters. As you can see, every single negative effect disappears, and huge amounts of damage will come out in the process. For every negative effect taken away, they will take that much damage in trauma. So if you manage to get that trauma higher than 2k, it would obviously take more damage per effect removed. So obviously the potential for this can be really, really crazy. As you saw, that was turn 2. I just had 2 commands, 3 key characters there to get that done, and that was a lot of damage potential. I can definitely see trauma resist coming in and being a really big thing now, if it wasn't already for a lot of teams. Now, it didn't really showcase how much damage he can do, because he did do 1200% damage to 1. We haven't modded him at all, so it wouldn't have been as big as it can be, but it really depends on how you're going to build this character. If you want to build him for that trauma team, you don't really need to utilize the 1200% damage so much. You can make him very defensive, you want to keep him up, you know, all the good things. The teammates getting 50% attack and focus. Again, I think the first half of this rush is the 1200% and the 50% attack and focus. And basically you can see that as a combination in a more percentage damage dealing team. And then the last part is if you want to use him in a trauma based team. This is actually quite nice either way. So if you are using him in a percentage damage team, it will recover from all penalties anyway and potentially proc any trauma that's happening. And there are a lot of characters that do have trauma in RTS now. So very strong rush, called Rallying Buzz. I don't think I said what the name of the rush was called at the beginning, but it has got a very interesting name as well. But now we'll go across to the active, and it is stun and AP up. It has an initial cooldown of 2, number of uses 5. Up to 3 enemies get stunned for 2 turns. This character gets 50% AP. Now for me, this plays into the second half of that rush. If you want to utilize him as a trauma character, you can effectively get an extra debuff on 3 characters and then command him that turn, because he's going to get the 50% AP, remove all of those debuffs, and then all that trauma damage is going to proc again. So the same team again and the same deal, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to do his active turn 2 to get him his AP, kind of like what we did on Wang Fa, to get him his AP, because it's going to be the same deal. He will take some damage because he is exhausted. As you can see, Wang Fa is going to take some damage because he's exhausted. There we go. And Wang Fa is going to deal out loads of effects like he did before. This time we're going to select Erica because we did not take down Erica, and we're going to cross our fingers that we can hit Javi with the stun as well. We are automatically going to get some damage in because someone resisted. That's how trauma works as well. And we can see we hit Willy and we hit Erica and we had a resist on Lao Po. So we're not going to be able to take down Javi in the top right, but we should take down Erica now because she's got an extra debuff on her. And we're going to actually run. We actually should have rushed Javi. We should have rushed Javi because he's got the sort of missing damage there. But you can see the potential of this guy, and he didn't even do, that much, damage. You saw the rush didn't do too much. We haven't got him geared offensively. He is in a defensive attack team. Wang Fa gives no offensive capability, and he is going to be pretty nice. 4 decaps on turn 2 in the right combo, and that active seems to play into that second half really well. So straight up right now, this guy for a trauma team is looking nuts. Like he's going to be a staple in all trauma teams going forward. He has such a nice combo with, and it's such a small thing as well, that small one line at the end of that rush, and the combo with this active are so powerful. I can see this guy being one of the best characters when it comes to those sort of trauma setups. And I like that he's useful right now. And I love the fact that Wang Fa, who came out so long ago, is just coming round. I did watch my Wang Fa video recently, and I even said, I don't think this guy is that great now, but I think he's one for the future. Boy, is he one for the future, because he is nuts right now in this combo. And Diego looks like a lot of fun. But it doesn't end here. Going across to his leader skill, this is where it goes from, wow, this guy looks crazy, to this guy is completely insane. All tough and strong teammates get 40% and a huge bonus to AP when attacking. That's exactly the same as what we had on the 6-star Diego, I believe. Strong, tough, 40% and a huge bonus. But the last bit plays into the second part of his rush and into the, the active rush combo kit. As you saw, the nuke takedown. Up to 5 enemies get 2,000 trauma for 4 turns. So now you can use him as a leader and amplify that damage on top. The only thing that Wang Fa was bringing to the table was in that team before as a leader was crosshairs, but he was doing that anyway on his rush on command turn 2. So if I just swap these characters around, you're going to see much higher damage come out, because remember, like I said before, trauma stacks. So the 2,000 trauma from Jesus will stack with the 2,000 trauma from this lead skill, and for every debuff removed, they'll take 4,000 damage. So we're attacking exactly the same defense team again, with exactly the same attack team again, but we have switched to positions of Diego and Wang Fa. We're going to see what happens this time around. We're just going to line up all the attacks again on Willy because I know he's the window. We're going to do the active of Wang Fa, but now you can see everyone's got 4,000 trauma because of that lead skill stacking with Jesus' active. We're going to do the active command rush of one character. Now it doesn't even matter who I focus this time because it should be such high damage. I should be taking down everybody. And yeah, it is going to be the case. How much damage? 16, 20k a piece. So the leader skill obviously stacking with any other source of trauma is really, really powerful. You can take Jesus on an attack team. Jesus does not need the leader skill. He can just do his active turn 1 and he's done and dusted. You will get that 4,000 trauma up turn 1. Any resists from that point will be 4,000 damage. Anytime a negative ability is cleansed by someone like Marge, it's 4,000 damage for each one. And anytime it's cleansed by Diego, as we saw, it's also 4,000 damage for each one. But on top of this, Diego does not have an attached weapon. Now you may think, well, that isn't a good thing, is it? Well, there is a certain item in the game that would work extremely well in Diego's hands. That is, of course, the Grim Axe from the Halloween event. That 4th slot, when attacking, a 100% chance to cause 3,000 trauma for 2 turns to the enemy, means that that first turn, Diego can do a basic attack and add 3,000 trauma on top of the 4,000 potential that's already there. If you didn't get Jesus, it would go up to 5,000. So you can basically focus a character that either has heavy trauma resist. We've got characters like, who have we got? Akira, who've got heavy trauma resist right now. I'm going to guess a lot of characters are going to come in with heavy trauma resist soon enough. And basically, this guy's going to add to it. That means that every single negative effect that will be removed, it'll be 5,000 damage with just his leader skill. But if you added the active skill of Jesus on top, it would be 7,000 damage per negative effect. We had 4 negative effects on the team that I used before on that second turn command cleanse, and you saw 16 to 20,000 damage coming off of those characters. But with this on top, it would be between 28 and 35,000 damage. The potential for the trauma teams is going to be absolutely insane. So obviously, Diego is crazy. He's crazy good on these trauma teams. And what makes it even better is the fact that he is the last character on the holiday recruits wheel. So you will have increased chance to get this guy versus what would normally be another promo character. And obviously, if you didn't get this guy, but you still got very lucky, you could get like S-Class Marge and S-Class Lou. So that is actually a big bonus. If you have saved some of your coins for the last character to see what they're like, well, you might like the look of this, dudes. I personally do. I have also saved my coins, and I might be able to get a 100 pull in time. I have to see how I do in arenas and leagues. But this character looks extremely powerful, and I do like trauma teams. The biggest downside I had with them was that they were not super quick, but this guy makes them much, much faster because of the trauma initially coming in with his leader skill and the fact that you can command him turn 2 to rush, and he does a full enemy team cleanse. Damn, it's quick. Damn, the potential here is quick. Man, the only thing that you could say that is a negative with this character is that he is kind of split in 2. But you could also see that as a positive. The fact that he does attack damage and percentage damage on the lead skill rather than being fully defensive. He could have been that real turtle style leader skill and real turtle like rush where he gave defense instead of attack as the buffs. But I think it's better to have a variety. That way you can use him in different situations against different enemies. And I kind of don't mind it too much. I think the active is not fantastic if you do want to use it on a percentage team. I mean, a bit of control's great, but it's mainly that the trauma side of it right now, which I think is going to have maximum effect. So that is S-Class Diego, guys. Do tell me in the comments down below what you think of him, but I think I know what people are going to say. Damn, this guy is nuts. He's crazy. I'm definitely going to be doing my pulls for him. I'm going to do as many as I can. Hopefully you guys get lucky if you do any pulls. He looks extremely powerful, and I would definitely like him in my roster. We'll see what happens, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning into my video, though. Please hit like if you do enjoyed my videos, and also hit subscribe if you want to see more. That is the end of this one though. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.